So, holiday seasonal depression is a real thing. A lot of people struggle mainly with two things: grief and the inability to have the money to do what you feel like is necessary for you to do for your family during this time of year. Buying groceries for food, right? For all the festivities, being able to afford costumes and gifts, being able to leave that lasting impression that you feel like is necessary for your family, especially for your kids. But I want to kind of shine some light. Let's talk a little bit about just the whole idea of what is actually a necessity. So, all the years that I was a single mom, I too struggled with, not being able to afford certain things or not being able to do certain things with my child when he was younger. Now that he's older, now that I'm no longer in the position that I was in at that time, I realize more than ever how meaningless some of those things are. This is not a talk about what you believe in and what you don't. This is a talk about you making executive decisions for your life and doing the things that are necessary to get you and your family to the next stage in life. If you're already struggling with your bills, if you're already struggling financially, if you're already struggling with learning how to manage money, why would you take what you have to go spend it on things that are meaningless? A temporary fix to what your problem is. It doesn't ultimately set you and your family up to be in a better position. I know what it feels like to feel like you have to do certain things to create those memories with your children. But the fact of the matter is, I think they will appreciate more if you taught them how to set their lives up for wealth. If you taught them how to set their lives up in a way where they're a lot more conscious about certain things, or create memories where they're giving back to the community, things that will actually build the human inside of them, things that will structure them in a way where they can be successful in their own right, not a temporary feeling that mom or dad made it happen on this day. But on the back end, as a parent, you know that you're struggling mentally. These things are mentally driving you because it makes you, when we think about the depression side, it makes you feel like you're not enough. It makes you feel like you can't do enough. It makes you feel like your life is not as interesting or equivalent as it should be based off of what needs to be done during this time of the year. When the reality is that your joy comes from here. It doesn't come from your ability to buy things or do certain things. These are temporary fixes. But if you can find the ability to find that joy inside of you, find that joy in who God is in your life, and find that joy in your purpose and what's driving your life to happiness every day, being able to wake up every day and just breathe the breath of life and have joy regardless of what you have, what's in your pockets, what you can do and what you cannot do. If you can master that, then it will really help to minimize your need to fulfill a certain void that's happening in your life. So let's try to really, during this season, do your part. I do understand that there's so many different aspects of seasonal depression, and I want to make sure that I'm touching on these things. But right now, the biggest thing that I can give you, the biggest tip that's going to change the trajectory of the way that you think, is by applying what needs to be done, identifying what your necessities are in this season, and creating a structure in your life that you've never have had before. Creating a structure to where you're being a good steward over what you have, so you can prepare yourself as God prepares you for what you desire for your next year. Gone are the days where you just keep writing this long list of goals and things that you're going to do for the next year, but you aren't activating these things in the year prior. Making conscious decisions to minimize things that don't necessarily bring you value, so that if you can do that part, then what it will do is minimize the mental strain that these things have on you. It will minimize the effect that it's having on your mind, on your confidence, on your quality of life. It will allow you to strengthen your muscle of discipline that a lot of people are missing. There's so many things associated with your depression during this time, but if you can just grab hold of the things that you actually have control over, everything else kind of like falls in place. So to God be the glory for your transition during this season, this holiday season of 2025. Amen.